Passage A. Dear Sirs Para, we are in receipt of your enquiry of the 22nd and have pleasure to inform you that we are now in a position to offer you the pumping sets required by you by the middle of next month. As you are aware, we have not been able to cope with the heavy demand for these machines unless we receive your confirmatory order with 25% of the cost in advance. It will be difficult for us to reserve your requirement. We are enclosing herewith our price list and a pamphlet explaining the technical details of the machines. You will notice from our price list compared to other manufacturers, we have fixed a moderate price for the set at rupees 8,500 para. We are today advising our local representative there to contact you at his earliest convenience and explain to you the silent features of our manufacture, and we feel sure that you will be fully satisfied with the pumping sets as mentioned in the enclosed pamphlet. These sets are being used by the municipality in your town. Para. Our terms will include 25% of cost order and the balance on delivery. We allow a liberal discount of 5% on all orders received with cash. We would strongly recommend you for purchasing these machines, particularly in view of the low cost and their satisfactory performance. Yours faithfully, Sales Manager. Passage B. Time plays an important part in the life of every person throughout the day, yet time is something about which we know very little and about which we understand even less. If in our desire to understand a little better the real meaning of time, we read a modern book on the subject. It is probably the experience of many of us that we understand it even less at the end of our reading than at the beginning, that we know indeed very little about the world in which we live. We read, for example, that everything that has been still is, that everything which is to come in the future already exists. Para. We read that the events which make up life are like the stations along the railway line. A train is running along that line towards one of these stations. It reaches the station. It perhaps waits there for a very little while, and then it passes on, leaving the station behind it. But the station existed before the train reached it, and it continues to exist after the train has left it. In the same way, if is said, the things which happen in life are there all the time, waiting for us to reach them. We reach them and experience them and pass on, leaving them behind us. According to the writers of these modern books, these events existed before we knew of them and will continue to exist when we ourselves are no more. They will exist, in fact, for as long as anything as we understand it exists. Para. We read these statements and think carefully about them, and at first it seems that the statements cannot be true, that we cannot seriously be expected to believe them. Then perhaps we remember some of the things we were told as children and which we have always believed to be true, and nothing has changed now.